What's going on, everyone? It's been a minute since we have posted together. We've posted a lot of videos. I had a few issues that I needed to sort out, so it's been a while since we posted a video, but we have a lot to talk about in today's gaming world in general because we got Call of Duty and we also got Baldur's Gate 3, which Cecil has been absolutely ignoring since its release. He barely knows a thing about it, so we'll talk a little bit about that. It's crazy. I don't know how. It's probably game of the year.
Really?
Oh yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah. So let's get into that since we're already starting to talk about that. Baldur's Gate 3. I think I'm 15 hours in already, and I bought it.
Oh, so this is out.
Oh, this is out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cecil has not been paying attention at all. For a guy who does a podcast about video games, he's absolutely lost on this.
I had no clue this was even a game. This is my first time. If this is the third
Have you ever heard of Baldur's Gate?
No,
period?
that's the thing.
Not
like,
one, not
not
two. So 3 is like just
my
beyond
very
you.
first, it's literally my entry into knowing what this game is.
Oh my God,
I've never
this is
heard
ridiculous.
of it before.
I'm glad you're a pure professional. You keep up with the news. It's awesome.
Hey, let's be honest. There's a lot of games that come out. If we're being very honest.
I mean, that's true, but anyway. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I've been playing a lot of that lately. It basically takes up my entire life. There was a guy on Kind of Funny who described this game arriving, because people knew it was coming, but this level of quality, no one saw this coming. It's one of the deepest games. It's packed with stuff. The choices are insane. Everyone's talked about that. He described it as you're living your life, and then all of a sudden, someone shows up at your doorstep and says, "Oh, by the way, you have a baby." Like, you have a kid. Like, he described it as, like, that's how much this is taking up his life. And I got to agree with him, honestly. Like, it is that much.
It's one of those games.
It takes up so much of my life. Because, honestly, there's almost no choice you can't make. Like, people compare it to D&D, and Teddy would know all about this. Teddy's got 6 characters. He was a part of the beta. This is how much you don't know. Yeah. He was a part of, like, the beta thing. And, like, I believe what he told me was he was writing them notes for, like, things that they can improve. The fixes, yeah. So, like, he was heavily involved. This is why it's so sad you don't know about this. Like, him and I are all about this, and you don't even understand it exists.
I have never heard of this. And, like, we're sitting here, like, getting ready for this, and I see this name. I'm like, never heard of this. And if this is 3, that means there's been a 1 and a 2. And I've never heard of either one of them.
And they're big. They're big games, too. Like, they're not small.
Either one of them.
I believe Teddy has talked about the game on the show.
Honestly, I believe I wouldn't put it against myself that he has not talked about it. Just because if it's that big and there's been a 1 and a 2, it wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
Plus, he's a D&D guy.
Yeah.
Because Baldur's Gate, especially number 3, is basically D&D the game.
I mean, looking at that trailer that I watched, it looked like it was not big story based, but the way they showcased it, the way they showed it off, it looked like it was a big D&D pick your path type of thing based off what I was seeing. At least.
And the paths are like, there's so many paths. Like,
so it's
if there's
basically
any choice you want to make,
a lot of branches
to the point where, and this is why I'm surprised you don't know about this, to the point where not only is it probably game of the year, but it was going to release the same day as Starfield, and then they moved it forward a month.
Smart.
But this could be an issue. Like, people are like, Starfield could have its thunder taken by this game because of how deep and good it is.
So
it's cinematic as hell, too. Like, it feels like you're watching a movie.
It looks cinematic, but I wasn't sure if that was just...
No, that's the whole game.
Just something they did for the trailer, or if this is kind of what the game is like itself. Because, some games, though, do, like Call of Duty, for instance. Call of Duty does that little trailer thing, and yeah, they have few cinematics, but it's not.
No, it's the whole game.
The whole game.
And the facial animations for the cinematics and how many cinematics are in this game aren't crazy. Like, it's like real life. Mm-hmm. Like, it's that crazy. And I love how much you don't know about this. It's hilarious. It's so good that other devs from other game studios are mad at how good this game is. So they've actually been posting about how, like, it's ridiculous for people, because people were talking about, like, online this game came out and people were like, this is the new standard for top-down games and just gaming in general in terms of choice. And gaming and other devs were like, that this is ridiculous. You guys cannot expect this. The budget on this game and the 400 person team that was on this game, which is insane. Like 200 is a lot, let alone 400.
So,
and like the amount of time that they gave this game, I think it's like 7-year dev cycle or something like that. Like it was insane. I may be wrong about the 7, maybe it was 5, but it was an insane. Like they were done with this game a year ago, content wise, and they spent another year
fixing, like
making it perfect,
nitpicking and stuff.
Yeah, there's still some performance stuff that
but that's
they have to work on.
Expect of every game that finally gets out to the mass. So.
Right. There's that part of it, and then the other part of it is, and then you'll find this really funny, is that I can't believe you don't know this. It boggles my mind that we did this show, and I told you that we were going to talk about this game, but you didn't
honestly,
even,
I didn't know we were going to
fake it. You didn't even look it up.
I didn't even know we were
going to
talk about. We said we were going to talk about pretty much everything, and honestly, everything that I was looking for, this never popped up until now.
I don't know. And to the point where it's not on Xbox. It's coming out for PlayStation the same day as Starfield still. It's on PC already. It comes out for PlayStation. Yeah. It's so good that not only is it going to take Starfield's thunder potentially, although I don't think that, but that's what people are saying. But it makes up for PlayStation not having Starfield. Like people are saying like this is PlayStation. Now it's coming to Xbox, but here's the kicker. You love this because I know how much you love Xbox, is that Solarian is the studio that made it. And they are one of those studios that they don't do microtransactions. They put this, it's a $60 game, so it's not like they look out for the gamer, right?
Thank you.
Well, Xbox has a rule where if it can't work on the S, then you can't put it out for their system. It has to work on S and X. Well, Larian can't get their couch co-op working on it, so they won't put it out. So it won't come to Xbox because of Xbox's rule.
Which, honestly, I'm not mad at that rule for Microsoft's side.
Right, because they promised that to their gamers.
I'm not mad at it.
But Larian was like, we won't put it out content incomplete.
That's hilarious to me, considering Xbox decided to do that S version. I don't know when, but the PlayStation 5 Slim, I've seen rumors of that talking about coming out, I think, next year, end of this year, early next year, somewhere off in there, probably next year. And that's going to be the S in a way. And it's still probably going to be more powerful than the S, in my opinion. That's what I see as far as the PlayStation 5 Slim. Because they always do slim
apparently
versions.
it's just slimmer. It's not, well, of course it's more powerful than the S.
Well, that's the point I'm making, though. It's the fact
PlayStation.
that the Xbox decided to go with this S instead of just, of course, knocking back some performance in between the two. I don't even want to go there no more. We're back. I don't even want to go back to those launches of the S.
But it's ridiculous. It's really crazy how much that this game is causing issues. And but that's how big it is. It's taking all my time. It's absolutely as good as sold. It's probably game of the year. The only contender is probably Starfield.
My question to you is how much are you going to stick onto that game of the year? Like if out of not a 1 out of 10, would you put a pin literally at game of the year? Like it's going to be a candidate for the game of the year awards type of thing?
Well, see, it all depends on Starfield, right? So going up to last month when it came out, I would say that the leaders for Game of the Year were Hogwarts Legacy and probably Zelda. I think that was pretty easy.
That was, two easy games that, for sure, makes sense.
Now, Baldur's Gate would win if it was only up against those two. It's not even really that close. The depth of the game, how great it looks. I mean, it is graphically, like, it makes PCs scream. Like, it is really hard to run. Now, it can be played on the Steam Deck. It can be played, like, I have it playing on the Steam Deck now. I had to really work it. Like, I had to get those settings just right, tweak it all over the place. But it looks wonderful, and it's 100% playable. I had to cap it at 30 frames per second. I mean, but that's not an issue.
It looks like there's a lot off from there. And then with, I literally proceeded to ask Jordan, is this kind of like WoW? World of Warcraft?
It's kind of like WoW.
But I mean, I'm not saying there's a lot of games like that. Like Diablo is.
It's a lot like Diablo except for it's more story heavy.
Yeah, like Diablo could be compared to World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
because World of Warcraft did it first,
right?
And they've been around the longest. So games kind of like this kind of dwindled away from there or picked off that. So that was the first thing that I thought top down click based was World of Warcraft.
Yeah, so they had that. And now that Starfield, because Starfield's going to be huge, and they're different kinds of huge. Like Starfield is going to be like planets and like talking to people, and it won't come close to the RPG that this is. Like this is the RPG. Like you decide to make a choice. Like you can do anything. Starfield, it'll come down to how the game plays, how fun it is, and how immersive it is, and how good is their story. This, I mean, there's a story in Baldur's Gate, but it's more like, yeah, the story's going to be there no matter what, but how you choose to do it and how you go through it, it's really hard to explain quickly. We're not going to spend the whole time on this.
I'm kind of picturing it. I'm picturing it. It just lets you pick your story, how you want to run your character. That's pretty much what I'm getting. Like, of course, there's going to be a beginning and an end. That's every story, but it's going to let you, if you go here, you can go off to the right, do this here, and then you can still go off and do everything else that somebody else may do, even if they didn't choose that path.
And your relationships change. Like you can go change your relationships. Like you could be in an open relationship. Like if you have a girlfriend, like in a lot of games, like once you choose one path, like let's say you choose to go with girl A or whatever, right? Like that's the path for the rest of the game. Whereas this, you could like have a relationship here and like decide to be with girl B, or like you could be with both of them as long as like girl A is okay with it. It's crazy. Like it's that. And like, it's not like once you're cool with a character, like you're cool with them forever. Like every decision you make can change your relationship. I just hit the mic. Every relationship you change. Anyway, it's really good, but
I mean, it sounds like a lot. I'll have to like throw it on while I'm playing Destiny.
You have to play it
and just look at stuff, because I'm sure I've seen some streamers, like my streamers that I have on my Twitch, playing this game.
Oh, they're definitely playing it.
I have a lot of people who play RPG games that I follow just to throw up while I'm playing Destiny. So, because Destiny, it takes no brain power.
Yeah. Okay, so now a game you have heard of. Speaking of this, the other Game of the Year candidate, and I really think it only comes down to two. Like, honestly, I think it only comes down to two. And the word on the street is Starfield is running great. There's not that many bugs. Like Xbox gave it another year, and it's paying off. Now I'm curious to see how it plays on the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
So I bought the freaking $100 version so I could play it a few days early, so I can do it on my trip because I'm going on vacation. And I really hope it runs well on the Steam Deck. I probably have to configure it just right, just like I did with Baldur's Gate. But anyway, Cecil, have you been keeping up with Starfield at least?
Yes, I have been keeping up with Starfield. I've been on the watch for Starfield because I'm in a slump. We've kind of talked about this a little bit. I'm in a slump of not wanting to play Call of Duty. So,
which we'll talk about later.
Yeah, we'll talk about later. Not to get into it, I've been in a slump of not wanting to play Call of Duty. So I've been ready to branch off into other games. Like I've been playing a lot more Valorant. Even been playing Minecraft, which don't even start on how long it took me to actually get that to work. And I've been playing a lot of Destiny and trying to finish story games out too as well. Like trying to finish Horizon and stuff because they had an expansion. So just trying to finish all these story games. I'm like, well, this is kind of perfect that I'm not playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So I have been really excited for something I can jump into that's not Destiny, that I can jump into and go back. That's story based, but still much more open world, like more world story based than.
Well, I got a game for you. Starfield's gonna be great.
So so that like I'm very excited for this because it's that one game I know I can go back into, pick pretty much right back up there, and still customize it for me.
And the mods play for me. Phil was talking about the mods today.
So
he was talking about the mods, and he was like, "Yeah, we want to." And to me, it's the most interesting thing about it. You can talk about the planets and what the game. The game we've talked about the game. The game is going to be insane.
Yeah.
Had one of the most insane showings for a game I've ever seen in my life. But they think they're going to support this like they think this is going to be a good enough game to support it like Skyrim.
Which
they're talking about a decade.
I hope, because I mean that just gives competitors to, I don't want to say Destiny, but if they can get that right, and even if they can get that right and bring in more optimization from multiplayer interactions, I don't want to say it's going to take over Destiny, but it could compete with other games in that category. I'll put it like that. It compete in other games in that category like Starfield. So I'm kind of hoping they do this because we all know how well Skyrim did.
The mods are literally the thing that keeps that game going.
Yes.
And they put out that expansion a couple years ago, which like gave you a couple extra quests and gave you. I'm sure that was really weird working on a 6-year-old game at the time when they started working on it, but
still,
yeah, that's
like
pretty cool.
Counter-Strike Go has been here for 15 plus years.
Is that really 15 years?
Oh yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's been out here for 15 plus years,
That's
somewhere
amazing.
around there. And
I didn't realize it was that long. I knew it's been a while.
Exactly.
15.
And we're just now getting a Counter-Strike 2. And I'm sure the developers are happy they're finally getting something updated, but like an updated, more updated engine. Just the fact that the game has been that good for that long, and they just continue to work on that same game, same engine. I'm hoping Starfield can do this. And we've seen Fortnite change engine, so I'm sure if they need to change an engine, they will shut down the servers for a bit and do that.
I don't even think they'll have to do that. I don't think they got the new, whatever their second, it's like the Engine 2 or whatever.
I don't think they will, but
Creation?
Just in case. You never know.
I think it's Creation.
Just in case they do, they have that option. We've seen it with Fortnite. Fortnite, let's be honest. Fortnite put the precedent for a lot of things out.
I think the mods for this game, you talk about, like, the possibilities. It's space. It's planets. So, like, you could do anything with a full planet.
It's all Imagine-based.
Most of the modders that talk about why Skyrim is easier to mod than, like, Fallout is because it's easier to just add things to Skyrim because it doesn't break the universe. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, it's easier to do it in Skyrim. Just like it's easier to do it in, like, Grand Theft Auto 5. Add mods because it doesn't break it. Think about this. People are going to be able to make entire planets of whatever they want. So you could have, like, a Marvel planet and a DC planet and, like, a Destiny planet in Starfield, or like a
Halo planet.
A Halo. Like, honestly,
we can finally get that Halo Destiny crossover that we've talked about for so long, because they were both done by Bungie for the longest. We can finally get that crossplay because of mods. So
anything can happen.
I'm all in for that.
I guarantee there will be. I guarantee there'll be entire mods that people are starting, like, second the game comes out, they're going to start their mod for an entire planet, and we're going to see stuff we can't even imagine. Like, there'll be goofy stuff, there'll be cool stuff, there'll be, like, probably like a Jello planet or something. I don't know. Just like it's going to be insane.
Like, you took your time to do this.
Yeah. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw a Minecraft world, honestly.
We see what we can do in Minecraft alone, so that wouldn't surprise me either.
That's why this seems to be potentially endless potential.
Yeah, and Xbox needs something like this, though. They need that endless game.
Do you believe this is the biggest launch in Xbox history?
For a game?
Period. Because think about how starved people are for a first-party great Xbox game. So that's exclusive.
At first, I wanted to say no. But after seeing how Xbox One launch and this last launch as well, which we were supposed to get Halo. And then a year later
which was a disappointment, too. It wasn't just that we waited. It was also ended up being a disappointment.
Yeah.
Although I think it's good now.
A year or two after the launch of Xbox, we were supposed to get Starfield.
And then Redfall was a terrible launch.
So I honestly, I can agree with that statement of saying this is up there, if not the top launch for Xbox. If this was still coming out for PlayStation, there clearly that would be a no, just because it's for both.
Because it wouldn't matter.
But for Xbox specifically, I think so, especially if they can continue this going on, which as clearly as, like you said, as what we're hearing, though, it sounds like this is running smooth. The mods are going to be crazy. People are already giving this great reviews, and we haven't even hit we are a few weeks out, about a month or so.
Not even from this game.
Yeah, for a few weeks, right? Yeah,
the early release is
it's the first week of March.
Let me look. I have
I said March. September.
Let me look here. So the preload, you can preload the game on Xbox. You could have done that on the 17th already.
We did that last week.
August 30th is the day before the game came out. So the 31st is when it comes out.
In a week later, next week.
No, it's the next day.
No, I meant like 31st from when we're recording.
Oh yeah, the 31st of August.
So the first weekend of September. Or first, first September, yeah.
And then
the full release is September 6th.
The embargo for the game, I sent it to Reagan. When the hell is it?
Early access, September 1st.
The embargo is August 31st.
August 31st,
which is the same day that I think people can play it.
Can hop in.
Yeah. Because it's I think it's up to 5 days early. I think that was what they said. But either way, the embargo is going to lift. And
so people will probably be in. And for those who purchase the premium edition can get.
Well, it's the day before the early access.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It does technically release a week later. That's true. I say the early access is released because people will be playing it.
People generally gets it. Yeah.
People will actually be playing it.
Agreed. So a week and a half. A week and a half from now.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I have high hopes for this. Xbox needs it. Granted, they bought it.
Oh boy, did they buy it?
I'm sorry. This is just me hating on Xbox at the moment. But granted, they
lovingly,
they bought it. But I'm a PC player, so I'm all for this. I'm a PC player, so it doesn't affect me per se, since I'm not strictly on PlayStation anymore. I'm ready. I'm definitely gonna be putting time into it. I know you are, and I'm very sure everybody will be.
I have 2 11-hour flights.
And
that'll be 22 hours of playing this game with Baldur's Gate. I'll probably go back and forth.
Meanwhile, I'm going to be, all right, I'm ready to get off work. Or I just download it on my laptop if I can run it, which I probably won't be able to.
You don't think you'll be able to run it?
Not on this laptop, this one specifically.
Oh, probably not. No.
Yeah.
It's going to...
Yeah, no, this is a 2015 laptop, so I doubt it's going to run off on this.
I know that the engineers at Steam are already working on it to have an optimized version
for Steam Deck.
Yeah, they do stuff like that. I know that ROG Ally, which is the other handheld.
Yeah, Asus ROG.
They're not doing anything. Well, I don't think they're doing anything. They just don't do the things that Steam... Like, Steam will run algorithms to make games run better on their shit.
And stuff. Meanwhile... Asus, they're just like, well, it's a computer.
Here's Windows.
Here's your portable computer. Good luck. Yeah. So that's just two different styles, and then what we got the PlayStation Portal coming. That's going to be completely different than both of them.
Yep.
So I'm not even going to use that as a comparison for the Asus and the Steam Deck, because it's not the same whatsoever.
I would, talking about the PlayStation Portable. First of all, that's coming out. That's going to be awesome.
Later this year.
That would be great to play this on. Baldur's Gate will be great on that because you don't need... The latency doesn't matter because it's turn-based. Anyway, we'll talk about the PlayStation Portal in a minute. But Starfield... it's just terrible luck. And I think it's kind of like what happens every year with Horizon. Horizon comes out, and then another game steals its thunder. With Zelda. And this thing, what was the one that happened with Fallout 4? There was another one that crashed. I'm sure people in the comments can tell us what happened with Fallout 4. But the same deal. Fallout 4 came out. Another game stole its thunder. Horizon had the same deal.
Yep.
It's just this thing where you never know what's coming. And this would not have been an issue if Starfield had come out that original release date when they said it. There was nothing around it then, nothing. And the holiday season kind of felt empty because it was missing. Like, games moved out of the way, just like this year, games are moving out of the way of it. Yeah. Baldur's Gate moved out of the way in the right way. They went early.
I'd go early on it too. I'd go before.
And I don't think, and first of all, it's amazing they had the opportunity to do that because a lot of games aren't ready.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is
Cyberpunk.
I think it'd still be in the Game of the Year conversation. But
Starfield?
Or Baldur's Gate. Okay. It wouldn't be as much. And also, and again, it was a top 10. This was over free-to-play games. It was the 10th most concurrent played game in Steam history. 850-something thousand players the day after it launched. So it's huge, huge, and that's just PC. They haven't gotten to PlayStation 5 yet.
The fact that I've never heard about it either.
It's unbelievable. I don't even know what to do about it.
It's just crazy.
You literally live under a rock. I can't believe Tim the Tatman hasn't talked about it on one of his streams.
He's more of a for games like this, he does off stream.
I mean, sure, but he hasn't talked about it. It's literally in the world of gaming.
He talked about World of Warcraft earlier, that he was probably going to do a stream of that tomorrow because they have a hardcore coming out or something like that. So now I wouldn't put it against me if he's played it, because he does play a lot of Diablo as well. So, but he does this off stream.
This is so much better than Diablo. I would say that before this version of this game came out, Diablo was the bigger franchise. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Diablo has lost a lot of their, I don't want to say their customers, because they still get the customers, but they lost a lot
of clout.
Clout, there we go. That's what I would use clout. Because for one, now they listen to their community, but I like hearing about this Diablo. They had some characters that were broken, characters that would just wasn't taking damage, even if they're well above the enemy level and stuff. So this release for Diablo just didn't hit the way they wanted. Even with Megan Fox being a trailer character, even with in New York the big billboards they had on top of the smoke from Canada, making it even look even more cooler. Considering now
on top of the smoke.
Well, yeah, because you had the red dust, the red clouds above, and then all you see is a billboard with Diablo.
Just that is cool. I've seen the images. It's
so
funny.
It's just like it did make me feel like, oh wow, like it kind of makes it feel like they planned this. Even, clearly, we know they didn't.
Yeah, they didn't light Canada on fire.
Like, they did not Diablo. Do this. To be very clear. But it made it.
Or did they?
Right. But it made it look more like it kind of drew you to it more. So, but this for a lot of games. A lot of games they kind of lose their base. Like I'm curious on if what's this game coming out that's supposed to be the Call of Duty competitor at the end of this year? X-Defiant.
That ain't gonna match Call of Duty. I can't even believe Call of Duty has a game coming out when they said that they weren't going to go year by year anymore. Well, but I would guess, if we're going to get into Call of Duty, I would guess that Xbox purchased this game, this company, and they were like, no, we're going to put 600 people on this game so we can make sure it comes out by the end of the year because we need to make this money back.
Well, they made this change before Xbox finalized their purchase.
But I bet Xbox was like, no, we're coming out with this year.
Well, if we're being honest, when they literally made this statement that they were going to skip a year. Yes, they were going to give us stuff, give us maps and all this stuff for the whole 2-year cycle, but it wasn't going to be a full game that you had to purchase. And then maybe a month and a half after release, we didn't even have our first full season done yet, and they had already announced that, all right, you're going to have to pay for a whole nother game next year in 2023, and it's just going to be a continuation of this.
It's so ridiculous.
So
it's so ridiculous.
They told us essentially right after launch, that we're going to be getting. They're taking back on their word of, all right, you're not going to have to pay for a new game.
I don't know if it's a word. I mean, I guess it's their word. But
they literally told us, like,
they told us that they weren't going to do it right. But they were like, we promise you will not have to buy another game. I don't know if they did that.
They didn't say, but I mean, as far as Modern Warfare 2 goes, Modern Warfare 2 was supposed to continue on until Treyarch came in 2024. They were going to give us all the maps from Modern Warfare 2, like Terminal, Rust, Estates, and bring more weapons from those games back too. But we weren't supposed to have to pay for a new $70 game. That's what it was.
That's true.
But Infinity Ward, disgusting.
Yeah, I'm actually excited about it still. I don't know if I'm gonna buy it because first of all, I don't need to. There's so much to play. Baldur's Gate is, I think they said anywhere from like a 150-hour game to like, I think they said a 10,000-hour game, which is 10 years.
Yeah, on top of Starfield.
Which I don't know. Someone said that, and I was like, there's no way this is a 10,000-hour game. I don't know how you do that outside of replayability. Now, if you're a completionist, maybe, because like you can have 4 people in your group or whatever, and there's like I think there's 8 players that you can go through the world with. So like the replayability is 100% there, even outside of like doing other things. So we'll have that. We'll have Starfield, obviously, that'll scratch my first-person shooter itch, which is really crazy that a BGS game can scratch that itch. Now, I guess like you could say that Fallout kind of was that, but I don't know. This feels different.
This is definitely different. Fallout. It wasn't this. No, this is definitely because it has way more my capability. Clearly, as for what we're gaining, more exploration because all the different planets.
Oh, so much more exploration.
So this is definitely different in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it feels different too. Like even going in, like, and obviously we haven't played it. Exactly. I don't know. I'm very excited about it, but the Modern Warfare, they're gonna have to prove it to me. You've even said it. You're not even spending as much money as you used to. You're not buying the passes as much.
I haven't bought any pass since the one that I got with season 1.
Yep.
I have, but I missed out on the Tim Tamman skin, but that's another story that we're not gonna get into whatsoever. I bought maybe 1 pack weapon, two 2 weapon packs, and that was just for the tracer bullets, and that was months ago. I haven't bought anything since on Call of Duty, and that's I don't want to say sad because my pockets are happy, but for a game that just a year ago, and even 2 years ago, I want these tracer bullets for this weapon. Oh, let me in. Let me get this. Oh, this skin came out. That meme of, here's my card. That's just what Call of Duty was doing for me with their custom. I mean, the way they were giving stuff
Their
out
skins
to us,
and
their
stuff.
skins and stuff. Now I'm just like, Call of Duty Mobile has better skins than what you're giving me.
It's not just better skins. It's also like there's also this thought that like the first few skins that they'll release, I'm like, okay, this is worth it because I'm gonna have these skins for the rest of the year until the next Call of Duty. Now it's like
you don't know.
Is it?
And
I'm only gonna have it for a year, then I'm gonna probably jump to the next Call of Duty.
Well,
That's not.
now,
there's no value there. That's why the ones on Warzone make more sense to me.
Well, yeah, you'll have it in War. So like all the weapons, it's kind of like what they did with the previous Warzone, where Vanguard and Cold War, those weapons carried over to Warzone.
Yeah.
So it's gonna do the same thing. My issue.
Oh, is it? They're carrying over now.
It's gonna carry over.
I didn't know that part of it. That's good. That's
so like
really
when
dumb if they don't.
Black Ops 3 or not 3, or whatever they call
Modern
it.
Warfare.
Modern Warfare. Yeah, well, Modern Warfare will continue into Warzone.
Yeah.
But I meant like even when Treyarch's, as long as Warzone's still continuing, those weapons will carry over.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like Warzone is supposed to be the ground. Like they even changed the name of it on Steam. It used to be called Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone Modern Warfare 2. Now it's just called Call of Duty.
Yeah, isn't that weird? I saw that.
It doesn't even say Call of Duty Warzone. It just
when did they do that?
Last month, early this.
Was there
month.
A reason behind it? Did they make a big deal about it?
It was right as rumors, the leaks of Modern Warfare 3 images were coming out when they did that.
So it's not Warzone. It's just Call of Duty.
It's just Call of Duty.
This is because
they're going to entitle. Yeah, it's because I think it's because of what they're doing with Modern Warfare 3.
Did you watch the trailer on it, or what did you think about them going into what is that jail called? In the original Call of Duty map,
Gulag.
Yeah, they're going into that
Again.
Gulag jail
Again.
Why?
We've done it in Modern Warfare 2.
So weird.
I believe in Modern Warfare 3.
It feels lazy.
To me, it's lazy. Now, don't get me wrong. Lazy. It is a historic, iconic place, for sure. And I'm okay with it in Warzone. It's a
Call of Duty staple for sure. It's like any of the classic maps.
For sure. It's a classic, for sure. And I'm okay with it in that 1v1 Warzone to get you back in. I just feel having it on the map again is going to be, I don't want to say annoying, but it's like, where's your creativity? I know we're all we're not crapping on the big map right now. Like we are, compared to Caldera, we're not crapping on the map. I mean, Caldera was a dog crap map.
I don't know what they were thinking with that. I mean, I see intentions there, but it seemed like
it was lazy to me. And I see people talking about, oh, you can hang and shoot now. Well, we could have did that last game. We did this. It's like if you had a pistol on you, you could do the same thing where you can hang and peek back up and do. You could do it. I promise you could. You probably didn't know it because you didn't try.
We haven't even gotten into the zombies, which you don't want anything to do with.
Yeah,
you're like, this open world zombies, who cares? I was excited about it until you talked to me.
Of course, I'm going to try it out. I mean, I'm a Call of Duty fanatic, let's be honest.
They shouldn't sell it like this. They shouldn't sell it as an open world. Unless it's going to blow our socks off, like this is something special. Yeah. It better be.
Like, as we talked about before, I wasn't a fan of Outbreak when they brought Outbreak in, and I believe in Cold War.
Which was basically open world Call of Duty.
In a way, yeah.
So what's the difference here? You drop the word open world, you better back it up with a big open world.
Now, if it's DayZ-esque.
Which it probably will be because they copy everything.
True. If it's DayZ-esque, then I can see myself possibly liking it, possibly. But I highly doubt it. When I hear zombies, I'm picturing me either going in to do an Easter egg, which I'm sure they can still have an Easter egg in a open world, but I'm picturing round-based. I get round-based. I get my one round, I load in with a pistol, lose ammo maybe, have to buy a wall gun or have to nail round-based every round. That's what I like in a zombies. As long as the UI is good, as far as, put the perks there, don't make me pick before in the menu, and all that stuff, I'm okay with it. But open world for Call of Duty zombies, DMZ already didn't hit the way they expected it, the way they hyped it up.
I mean, again, that's another copy of another game in itself.
Yeah, and it did not do justice whatsoever.
I will say this. That's my favorite mode to play.
DMZ?
Yeah, it's the one. My brother wonders why I like it so much, too. He's like, and for me, everyone who I play that game with, and I always play with strangers because I can never get anyone on to play that with me, is that we're all going towards the goal. We're all doing the mission. You know how rare that is in online play? Like, any PlayStation I have where I can get multiple games in, there's always some idiot, like, just spinning and doing, like, I don't know, just doing something stupid.
I mean, I get what you're saying. See,
it's so annoying. And that's why I was like, I like this.
I'm that guy who wants the battles. And DMZ doesn't hit that enough for me.
It doesn't give you that multiplayer, like the standard Call of Duty multiplayer.
So much
search and destroy, AI. Search and grab, and I like that.
I'm not.
I can control that environment.
If in a Call of Duty, I'm not for it. It's like when Fortnite started losing me whenever they started bringing in, not the zombies. It wasn't really the zombies, but it's all the other NPCs in there that just mess up you're fighting somebody and they're over here shooting at you. Now you got to deal with them real quick just to possibly let the other enemy come and mess up your day. So that's DMZ. The NPCs aren't that annoying, but I don't see enough for real players in there. Unless there's whenever they brought the M13, whenever we all had to go into a specific area to get this. That was different because we were all going to get that weapon.
But I like the way the game ends. Like, the way it's been going for me lately. No. Now, I mean, yeah, that I guess. But, like, so generally the way I've been playing is, and I can't remember if this is DMZ or another mode now, but the way we start with 4 different teams or whatever, 3 or 4 different teams, and then we generally find each other along the way, and then they'll wipe out our unit, and then we'll join their unit, and then it ends up being 2 bigger units, and then we fight those fights, and that is sick. I love that, because that, by the end of that match, it's kind of like a Fortnite, but instead of like old Fortnite where you got your squad, you just join up. Everyone ends up being on one big team.
You're talking about that. I don't know exactly what it's called.
I forget what it's called.
But it lets you join in on a group.
That's it's so good. It's so good.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
And then the battles at the end of that.
I forgot that was part of. Modern Warfare Warzone.
You need to play it. That's the thing. No one plays it. And I'm like, this is great.
A lot of people like that victory royale. That a lot of Warzone victory. I mean,
it's the same thing with Fortnite. Fortnite killed off their best game mode, in my opinion. It's the one where it was basically Super Smash, where like the guns didn't do damage. That was the circle was closing, and you kept getting smaller and smaller until it was like Super Smash Brothers size arena, like really small area. And then every time you get shot with, because you only had shotguns, every time you got shot with a shotgun, you got hit further and further out into the storm, and you had to like sprint back and get into, and then you were eliminated. Just kind of like
you got far out.
It was so good. It was so good, and they killed it. Like it was a mode that they had for like maybe 3 weeks. And it's all I played.
Well, Fortnite has a lot of modes in there now, so it could be back off in there.
I haven't checked. But to be honest, Fortnite is so confusing with all the modes that they have in there. It's got to be like I'm like 50 where's creative? Modes.
Oh, where's regular solos? Like
solos without building is the other.
That's where I go. I don't do the builds. I don't do the builds.
I know it's called Fortnite, so building the fort is the thing. But screw that.
Only reason why I do builds is whenever I'm playing creative with and we're doing box fights. That's so fun. we're you
go. See, you do play with bots.
Huh?
So you should give DMZ a shot. You just said you play with bots.
Box fight. Box fight.
Box. B-O-X.
Yes, B-O-X.
Oh. I was like, if you're playing with bots, then you're killing me then. You need to give the other one a try.
But ultimately, though, of course, I'm optimistically cautious for Modern Warfare 3. I will get it. There's no doubt. I will get it, yes. And it's, I told you this, it's mainly so I can load up guns for Warzone. That's really why I do it.
There's no Warzone. It is just Call
of Duty. Those guns carry on to Warzone.
I kind of missed. I'm of two minds. One, I like the Warzone title, but they messed up when they did the Warzone 2. They just basically did what Overwatch did. They made the same stupid mistake. Having said that, Call of Duty is cleaner.
And they shut down Warzone 2. So the Warzone servers are no. That's why it's not even called Warzone 2. It's just called Warzone now.
Yeah, okay.
It's not even 2.0. It's just Warzone.
Either way, Call of Duty is a cleaner title. It's probably confusing. They should have just come up with that earlier. Yeah, they should have just called it Call of Duty, and then everything else is Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty Modern Warfare,
that was the
Call
thing.
of Duty.
It was Call of Duty
Underpants
Modern Warfare 2, but with what they're doing with Modern Warfare 3, they just figured they'll just do that. So it's going to be another title, but then again, it's not going to be another title. You can in the BattleNet, you can access all the Call of Duties in a way from one window. If you want to go to Cold War, as long as it's installed, you click on it and it'll take you there. I'm okay with that. Going straight to Call of Duty and essentially picking what game I want to go load into. It's kind of like its own Steam browser in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I see that as. But again, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it early, of course, so I can beat the campaign before the actual multiplayer comes out and stuff. So I'm going to play it. I'm just not thrilled on some of the things that they're saying and talking about the campaign. I'm like, it's another Call of Duty campaign.
I really wish they just dig in on one great game. And I know that there's too much money to lose, but I wouldn't mind if they were like, all right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do our normal BS cycle for the next 3 years, and we're going to take 4 years to do this other game that we're going to put a lot of effort into, redo zombies, redo all this, but they're too money. The money is just too much. They just make too much money.
Yeah, and that was supposed to be the plan. It was a gripe that games were getting rushed from the 1 year cycle. Let's do 2 years, which is still technically what they're doing. 2 years until the next dev, until Treyarch, until Sledgehammer, back into Infinity War. But Infinity War screwed up so much on this game by getting rid of red dots. They wanted us to look at the compass that you didn't even know was at the top and middle of the screen.
I didn't even know
showing
that.
where the red dots is instead of giving it to us on the map.
Oh, wait. I do know what you're talking about.
What I'm
I didn't
talking
even
about,
look. You're talking about the little bar at top where it's like
northwest.
It's north, and then it has the little dashes on either side.
When someone's shooting, it puts red dots there. It puts red dots there, and you're supposed to angle where it is, which
it's not
fine, but we have a mini map for a reason. Just put it back on our
mini map is so helpful.
It speeds up the game. It makes the game flow much better. People aren't. I don't want to say it was still. We still had our campers, but it was still much faster pace. Yeah. So they're giving us red dots back. They're fixing. They're giving us slide cancel back, but slower. It's not as OP as it was. They're giving us stuff that we wanted originally that we never had any complaints with. Like, the Modern Warfare 2 maps that they said we're supposed to come out. We're finally getting those.
What isn't broken. If it's don't fix something that ain't broken.
So I'm gonna get it. I
of
know
course,
I'm gonna spend my money, but
my brother's the same way. He's like, man, I hate Call of Duty.
I hate it, but I'm gonna get it.
Are you gonna get it?
Yes,
I'm getting it.
I'm gonna get it. So I'm gonna get it. I know I crap on it a lot. I'm not happy with and I told you this. I'm not happy with Infinity Ward. I'm okay with Call of Duty, especially Treyarch. Treyarch is the best dev in my opinion. They always give a good game in my opinion, except for Black Ops 4. The zombies in Black Ops 4, like the story in zombies was great, but Black Ops 4 in total.
And zombies can save a Call of Duty sometimes.
It really can.
It has.
Especially if the story's good. But as far as devs go, Treyarch is my favorite. So I'm just looking forward to Treyarch.
Yeah, I really wish Treyarch would take over all the games. Anyway.
We're just don't care. Anyways, off of Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. Before we get out of here, I wanted to touch on PlayStation's new hardware. They announced the PlayStation Portal.
Yes.
So I guess it's still PSP?
No, I would consider it more of the
PlayStation.
The Vita. Oh.
It's still PSP then, right?
Yeah, it's still PSP. Instead of calling
it
the
got
PSP.
that? They got back to PSP because they know everyone likes that name.
Yeah.
Anyway, PlayStation Portal's coming out. It's basically just streaming PlayStation.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's interesting about this one. So supposedly, based on the hands-on previews that came out today, as of this recording, it has new software. Like, it's not Bluetooth. The thing doesn't run on Bluetooth. It runs on this other proprietary thing that PlayStation has come up with that's supposed to cut down on latency and just be better all around than Bluetooth. Like, it's a better Bluetooth. Mm-hmm. And the latency has always been the problem when you're streaming. And the thing about this new hardware is that what differentiates it? It's $200 It's got an 8-inch screen, which is insane. So just for example, for people who've seen the Switch OLED,
LCD, but
yeah, it's such. But if you've seen the Switch OLED, that's a 7-inch screen. It's going to be an inch bigger than that. That's huge.
With 1080p resolution though as well. So
but that doesn't matter because it's so small.
We say that, but then again.
It doesn't. The screen size doesn't even make sense for the pixels.
I know, but I mean, but for the fact that this little portable device can still give 1080 at 60 FPS.
I think it goes past that. I think it's like 100 and...
No, I'm looking at it right here. This is off their PlayStation blog.
60 FPS?
Yeah, 60 FPS.
Okay.
Now, that's like...
Okay, anyway.
It might push a little bit over, like our PlayStation 5 says 120.
Sure. But let's say 60. Let's say 60. Either way, it not only... Now, you can't play this on an airplane because you need constant Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be... And this was the question. Like, I even saw hands-on people who didn't even know this, and they had a hands-on, but other people with hands-on confirmed this. As long as you have Wi-Fi and your PlayStation is connected to Wi-Fi, it works. So like, it's like if you're playing here, right, and you have the device, you can be in your house on your Wi-Fi. As long as your PlayStation is connected to your Wi-Fi, you can play it.
Yeah.
But that's not it because it runs off your PlayStation. So your PlayStation works as the station itself. So for example, let's say your PlayStation is on at home. You are connected to the Wi-Fi. The PlayStation is connected to the Wi-Fi. You could be in Japan and you could still be playing on your PlayStation 5 here.
Yeah.
They've specifically made it to do that.
I think it's like the app, if I'm not mistaken, because I believe if I was to pull up the PlayStation app right now, I believe, because my PlayStation is on standby right now. I believe I can literally boot into my PlayStation from here and go into it as if remote played. I think that's what it's called, remote play.
You can do that, but from what they're saying, this is the best version of that. It has the least lag. You'll get the best picture. The screen apparently is a nice screen. And the controllers on the sides give you the full haptics.
This looks like, I have the image in front of me. It looks like a PlayStation 5 controller just with a screen in the middle.
Absolutely. That's what it is. It's a PlayStation 5 controller with the
5.
back. They will say the touch thing that you have on the PlayStation, that like trackpad thing.
Oh, the trackpad? Yeah.
That's just a touch screen now.
Yeah.
So they've used touch screen too.
Yeah.
And to me, it makes sense. This is about the same price as that super high-end controller, which the PlayStation
Edge. It's called
Edge, right? Edge, not Sense. I was going to do Sense, but that's the regular controller. Edge.
Edge.
So it's about the same price.
It is the same price. It is
exactly
exact same price. Yeah.
And honestly,
that's what is listed here. That's going to be $199 in US.
Do you think it's any good? Like, is this something you'd buy?
This?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I already told my buddy Javon that I'm going to be getting this because for me, a lot of times when I want to play my PlayStation, I don't want to sit at my desk.
Don't want to sit at your desk. Don't want to take up the TV. If you have a girlfriend or you have a wife, that TV is valuable.
It is valuable. And there's a lot of times where I am in bed and I can use my TV, but it's like, I'm in bed though. I just want it like a switch right here in front of me. Like I don't. Now, mind you, sometimes I will, especially if I'm playing a story game. Say I decide to jump into God of War, I want to be able to see it right here as if I'm at my desk. Now, of course, it's a smaller screen. We discussed this. It is a smaller screen, but I think we all can say we feel a little bit more immersive when it's more right here in front of us. If we're playing on a small screen like a Switch. Yeah, we can use the Switch on the big screen, but a lot of times when we're playing our Switch...
But it's not PlayStation 5 games. It doesn't have that level to it. That's the big differentiator. PlayStation 5 games with the same kind of feel as the Switch, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, it's not, but you know what I'm saying. Like when you played Zelda, did you mainly do it on the corner of a couch or did you throw it up on the screen?
I did it both, but that's because I was trying. But I did give up on Zelda though. So,
but when you normally play your Switch games, you're normally probably off on the couch somewhere or
on the couch. Same thing with the Steam Deck. I don't play Steam Deck, and I have the stuff to connect to the TV, but I don't.
You don't. That's what I want. I don't play my PlayStation 5 enough. And I know this is going to not make me, but...
You're going to play this in bed a lot.
Exactly.
Playing in bed is a game changer.
Or on the couch, or like you said, on the go, because I can do this remote play. I don't got to bring my console just to go to my dad's house, and I know I'm going to be sitting at my dad's on the couch.
Yeah.
So, like, I know I'm going to be sitting there, and we're going to be talking, and I can still be here just thumbing away. Like, and which I do anyways. I play Call of Duty Mobile on my phone a lot. So, this is going to be it for me. And I don't know if you want to touch base on the new little earbuds they're going to be coming out, which are.
I mean, they got the new earbuds. They're coming out, and again, that's a part of the other proprietary system. The new Bluetooth thing that they're coming out with. It's just it's buds.
I think it's
and they're not great. They're fine. And then they have the new headset, which just has a physical mic as opposed to the little one.
I will say I am curious on what these reviewers are going to say about these earbuds.
They look cool.
I mean, at $149, they better sound great.
Once I try your new PSP, the PlayStation Portal, PSP, it'll let me know if I want to use it. I really want to try it. You're gonna pre-order day one?
Oh yeah. Because I'm ready for this. I mean,
we'll do it on the channel.
We'll
try it on the channel. Though.
Okay. Yeah. See, we could do a slight unboxing maybe.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, bring it in. Yeah, just let me know when it's. What's the? They just said later this year. Yeah. All they said was this year.
This year, yes. I have it right here in front of me.
It's only 3 months left in the year.
It says right here, launching or released later this year.
All right. Yeah. Well,
it says PlayStation Portal.
You better get to it.
PlayStation Portal Remote Play will launch later this year for $199 US.
If this,
you will have more details soon when pre-orders are beginning for PlayStation Portal. So soon, I'm presuming probably next month, or in October. I know they're probably trying to get this out before the holidays.
They want it before the holidays, yeah. They want this to be a gift. Here's what's going to happen with this, one way or the other. Either A, it's going to be like every other streaming thing, because I could do this on my phone right now, really, honestly, with like a backbone or whatever. It either A, it's no different and it dies, or B, they have solved the majority of the latency problems because this is a better hardware and better software, and I don't think it's going to sell crazy right away because I think people need to honestly they need to learn what this is going to be and see if it's good.
Yes.
And I think word of mouth, if it does hit all those markers, word of mouth will get out and people will be like, dude, I play this in bed every day. You'll need to get on this. The thing is, it doesn't have the same problems that the original PSP or Vita had because you don't need
PSP didn't have problems.
It didn't have they didn't support it. It's the same thing with the PSVR. They didn't support it because they didn't have the games for it.
Exactly.
This is just a PS5 extended.
Yeah. And that was my biggest issue. Like whenever they announced the PS Vita, we talked about this before. They didn't support it enough. They didn't give us the amount of games. We had all these GTAs. We had Midnight Crew. We had not Skyrim. What's that game? Not Skydro. It's Crash Bandicoot and all this stuff. We had all these games on the PlayStation Portal, PSP. And then we get a PS Vita. They're giving us games, 2K.
They had Uncharted. They had Madden originally, but that was it. Then they just stopped.
And I know I could remote into my PS4. It was a little bit more of a headache to get into it because you also had to go into the settings of your. It was much more of a headache. Yeah. I vividly remember playing Destiny on my PS Vita, but it didn't feel right because the controls in my hand didn't feel as good. But this is a controller just with the screen more in the middle. You even have the separation in between so you can get that full controller feel, which I also like because sometimes holding the Switch, my hands don't feel as comfortable because it's flat. But just one more note about this is it does say that PS2 VR games, which are required to have a headset, and games that are streamed through the PlayStation Plus Premium Cloud service are not supported. So that is a big note. So if you're streaming a game through, say you stream a game through your PlayStation Premium instead of downloading it, it's not going to support this. You will have to download it to your PlayStation 5 first in order to pull it through here. Yeah, I do think they will do an update later on if they continue with this, where you can just stream it through here, which will make.
But I don't know. I don't
feel like they'll need to because if
you're just going through your PlayStation, then why would you have to?
Because you're already streaming through your PlayStation.
See, that's what there are some complaints about that. And again, I will be super critical of this thing. I told you, I'm on the fence about it. But why would you need to do any of that extra stuff if you're just doing it through your PlayStation 5 anyway? That makes no sense.
And that's what I'm seeing too. Like people are like, well, if I can't stream through my premium cloud, why do I want to get this? No, it literally says you have to have a PS5 in order to use this. And that's the saying is because you're going to stream to your PS5.
Some people were saying that they just wanted to be able to directly play games off the cloud on this. I do get that. That's the only argument, and I would say that it's potentially possible. This is running on Android.
Yeah.
This is an Android device technically, although you won't feel that at all.
Yeah,
it just happens to be using that
let's be honest,
UI.
PlayStation's running off of something as well.
Yeah, well, it's their hardware. But
yeah, exactly.
They say you won't even get that option. It'll be made for this.
It's like the Steam Deck. It's like the Steam Deck in a way. It's a computer, but they cut out.
They add
Asus,
things.
like
Steam
Asus,
works on it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Asus is a computer where you have to put everything else in, where Steam Deck already optimizes it for you. Yeah. That's what they're doing with this that I see.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
I'm ready for this. I'm excited
great.
just because, like I said, you play your PlayStation much more now. Granted, you don't have a PC, but
True.
You play.
Steam Deck.
Well, yeah, you have Steam Deck, which you have been playing a lot of.
A ton.
I see you popping online.
I'm surprised. Here's the thing about Baldur's Gate again. You have been online when I'm playing it, so it should show you when I get online. It should show up on the bottom like Jordan is playing Baldur's Gate 3.
Now that you bring it up, though, I think that I do be seeing that pop up. Cause a lot of times it's saying 2K or something like that.
No, it has not said 2K in a week. Maybe 2.
Wait.
Think about that.
You're right. I've seen your name pop up saying you're playing this. I probably just haven't paid attention to the game.
Obviously.
Clearly, yeah.
In any sense.
Very clearly. Because it pops up big and bold in the bottom right of my screen. I see it every single time a friend starts playing the game.
Oh, my God. Anyway, that's all the time we got for today. Thank you guys who stick with us. We are going to try and post a little bit more often. Probably not every week, but we will post. Video game news is so sporadic where it matters, and you can have a really good conversation about it.
About everything,
and there's so many other sites that do it every week. So we want to differentiate in a few different ways. We want to talk about games after they come out. We'll probably do some reviews. You can still find us here. Obviously, you can find me also.
We're still in our Discords as well.
In the Discord, Discords are still up. You can still follow us on the social medias. Everything's going to be down below.
It's nice. It's nice sitting here talking things out. So, I asked Jordan, how do you think we're gonna do on our first time back in a minute?
That's right.
It literally flowed.
Seems like it's pretty normal.
Yeah, just a normal day in the office.
Just in the. Well, we were always next to the kitchen. You guys just never saw the kitchen. Yeah. Cecil still just has blinds behind him, like at the other place. Just they're a lot closer to him. And I think this is where we're gonna do it for the time being. When we do it, turn the bell on, subscribe to the channel.
Of course, comment. We would love to see you comments. We will definitely be checking for this.
And hopefully Cecil will, do a little pre-show research about, maybe the biggest game of the year. So
look, hey, looking at Gamescom stuff, there was a lot that we didn't even get into. Talking about like Tekken 8.
We'll get into it when it comes out. We don't need to get into all that.
Yeah. But seeing Tekken 8 was arguably my most exciting thing.
That does look good. That does look good. But if there's anything you guys want us to talk about, we will definitely cover it if it's requested. And until next time, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.